Okay, we're recording. Happy Monday, the 17th of August. This is our Brimmers region/area training. And tonight I just really wanted to talk to you guys about the power of the ask, or even the power of this business. I think more and more, like as we go into this business, we take steps, we start the business, we go on this journey, this crazy journey that we call Arbonne. We start to experience fears and hesitations about what this business actually is and asking people to take a look. At the start, it may not be as hard, but I really tonight, by the end of tonight, I want you to completely understand the power of what Arbonne is. Right now, not just for you, not just for people you're asking, but for like just in general, like the economy, like the power of actually what you've got in your hands. So you're going to need a notepad tonight, and also you need to be chatting in things. So I'm going to be asking you some questions. So how does it make you feel when I say, when I say about reaching out the business on a scale of like 1 to 10, 1 being like, oh, I hate reaching out about the business, I hate doing asks, and 10 being like, it's no problem, just do it all the time. Put in the chat function now what scale you are, what number you are. A 9, confident, 5, 7, 7, 7. Okay, cool. I'm assuming Sophia's a 7 as well. Double people there. 7 from Kate. Okay, so pretty high, but not. I don't know if anyone watched that Scott Campbell number. He's like, never choose a 7. 7's a nothing number. You're either up there or you're lower than a 7. So calling you out if you're a 7, because I used to be a 7 kind of girl. Okay, so from those numbers then, what is your biggest fear about reaching out to somebody? Like, pop in the comments what it is. Like, one word, what's your biggest fear? Like, what could go wrong? Like, what is it in your mind? Don't have a fear, I'm just not consistent. Talking about it. It's not the reach out, it's the bit after. Need to nail the DA. Okay. Wasting my time. Talking about it. Okay. So it seems to me that the main biggest fear is either consistency in like knowing that it's part of the business, feeling like they've got to talk about the business and they don't know what they're talking about. Need to practice the DA more. So it's knowledge about the business. Okay, what I'm going to do, so my main feeling of what my fears are of asking people to take a look at the business is judgment. My fear at the start was judgment of what people were thinking of me, or what they would think once I get them to the point that they're going to say yes to take a look at the business. So it may be judgment of you nailing the DA. So what I'm going to do now is just play a very quick video. I just want you to take a moment to watch this video. This was GTC year before, so last year. Obviously, let me go back to here. We couldn't go this year in person because of COVID. But I want you to take a look at this video. So, where are we? Can you guys see that? Okay. Move you over here.
Had to be here.
Thank you, Arbonne! Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes.
Oh, sorry.
Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you're cool.
It's a family.
Yeah. Times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you. The door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today. Learn apart and join the play. The world is here.
Okay, let me just stop the video behind the scenes. So while I'm just doing that before the next thing comes along, hopefully you guys can now just see me. Yep. So that was our GTC conference in Las Vegas. How many, roughly, pop in the comments if you can guess, like roughly how many people do you think that, like how many people Arbonne consultants were there in Las Vegas last year in that stadium? You saw the size of that stadium. It's the MGM Grand, probably the biggest, if not the second biggest, you know, I think it's actually the biggest stadium. 3,000, I guess it's 15,000, 8,000. Okay, so there actually was about, I think it was just under 12,000 people that actually went into that stadium. Now, on a percentage scale, actually, how many of those 12,000 people have got the chance to make it to the top of this business? All of them. All of them have got the chance to get to the top of this business. It's not the statistics. It's not like, you know, how many people quit, but every single one of those people in that stadium, that dude on stage, you know, the women dancing around with their kids, the old couple, you know, the young people, they all have the opportunity to make it to the top of this business. There's actually 321,600 consultants globally in the whole of Arbonne. 321,600 consultants globally in the whole of Arbonne. And every single one of those people globally has the chance to make it to the top of this business and ultimately determine their own paycheck. There are minimal job opportunities where you have that many people with the possibility to enable to basically write their own paycheck and decide what they're worth. So I wanted to compare Arbonne to a legitimate company in the UK, something that's pretty big, something that where we can actually, because I think a lot of it is the belief in the business. Like, is this a real job? Can you really offer this out to people? Like, where do we stand? So I had a little look on DPD's website tonight when I got back. I was talking to Kerry about this today. DPD, in my mind, is a pretty big business. Now, they have 11,000 employees in the UK. So out of our 321,600 consultants in the world, there are 6 countries that's divided by. So I'd like to hesitate. I'd like to edge my bets that we have more than 11,000 employees, more than 11,000 consultants. In fact, I know we definitely do in the UK. So they have 11,000 employees. Out of those 11,000 employees, 3,675 of those are drivers. So I'd say that's probably a good quarter, over a quarter of that task force gone. They're drivers. What are the percentage do you think is like, you know, determined by warehouse staff, you know, shift staff that are basically moving the boxes from pallet to pallet, loading the trucks, making sure that they're being delivered to the right areas? I'd like to say probably under the half of that. So like, what percentage of those people that are left over, or that 11,000 people, do you think, would you like to hesitate a guess, statistically have the opportunity to be at the top of DPD out of those 11,000 people? I probably would like to say 2%, maybe one person that's a CEO. You know, there's minimal like amount of people that are going to be able to get to the top of DPD, bearing in mind that a lot of the, I'd say, low level management, ground floor, like worker staff, are warehouse operatives or drivers. Probably 2/3 to 3/4 of them are drivers. And then there's middle management, then there's senior management, then there's like directors, and then there's the CEO. So I had a look at the job opportunities as well with DPTs, just to kind of like really understand like what opportunities are out there. It's a big company. And actually I looked through all of the vacancies that DPD had in the UK. All of them, bar one job, was full-time employment only. And out of all of the jobs, 80% of them were warehouse operatives or drivers. And the remaining 20% were shift management. And there were 3 out of that shift management that were daytime working. The rest were night shifts or weekend work. What other job do you know that you can fit into your life around? You don't have to change anything. You don't have to move anything around. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to quit your kids. You don't have to quit your family. You can fit it in and around and earn the kind of income one of those shift managers could be earning on a night shift, having to drive to a depot, working nights, or working weekends that probably aren't so sociable, where you can match that kind of income in and around what you're doing right now. So many people, I feel like, don't have a choice, or don't even understand that there are other options. And a lot of people and a lot of jobs that are available are, you know, ones that don't free you of time, that ones that are inconvenient, ones that are full time, and you have to go to a premises, you have to go somewhere to do that job. So the stats of Arbonne, just to kind of go through this, just so you understand the power of where we're at. In the DSA, which is basically Direct Selling Association, in the world globally, we are now number 19 of the company. We actually moved from 28 ranked down to 19. So we're now in the top 20 globally. And I have to say, all top 10 companies that are in that DSA ranked are all global companies. We are ranked 19. We're only in 6 countries. Like, if that gives you any faith in terms of the company you decided to join in the whole of Direct Selling Association or network marketing, like, that to me just blows my mind. And in the UK alone, last month, there were 88 more area managers that promoted, just the second level, just that management level, 88 more, 15 more regional vice presidents, and 7 more national vice presidents just in the last month alone. The growth in Arbonne is absolutely incredible. And, you know, when you look at this and you think, I look around at that stadium, and I know it's hard for many people who haven't been to GTC in person or haven't been to an AAC, but when I look around and I looked at all of those different people, that stadium of 12 to 13,000 people, all those people walking the stage, I looked around and thought, this, like, do you think Arbonne is like a scam? Or, like, I couldn't even imagine that. You know, is it a marketing scam? Is network marketing a scam? Is Arbonne even ever going to work for me? Is it a thing that works for everybody? You know, is that the way we think of Arbonne? Do we think it's like crap? You know, what is our feeling thought about it? Do we believe that we can actually get to the top? Because you just said it at the start, all of them have the chance. Every one of us has the chance to get it to the top. And I thought to myself, if this is a scam, if this was a load of rubbish, because part of me did think, you know, like, oh shit, what have I just done? I've just booked flights to Vegas with a company that I've been with for 4 months. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like in debt. I can't even afford to do this. I looked around and I thought, if this was a scam, would 321,600 people globally have joined Arbonne? So now I want you to know, like, I'm going to like do some name dropping. If you were to look at, say, Ian Pritchard, and this concern that we're going to be judged when we talk about the business, or maybe, like, oh, I don't want to ask that person that's in a really good job because they might think this is stupid. Do you look at Ian Pritchard, who's probably one of the top income earners in Arbonne, and do you think he's a bit of an idiot? If he asked me to take a look at a bit, you judge him? Or maybe Nicola Wills, like, how do you feel about her? Do you think she's worried about reaching out to people the way that she portrays herself on Instagram? What about Bill and Caroline McFarlane, who were in Arbonne, who were like reputable charity workers, and he was in the BBC as a presenter, joined a little makeup business. Chris and Carol Isles, coaches and trainers, joined a little makeup business and lipstick business, or whatever we want to call it. Stuart Armfield, probably going to be one of the top income earners in the UK. He was a cloakroom attendant in Soho, London. Sarah Dunning. Like, when we look at them, what are we looking at? And do we portray ourselves with that kind of caliber? Do we look at ourselves and think, if they can do it, why can't I talk to someone? Why can't I ask someone to take a look at Arbonne? Look at what Arbonne's doing for them. That's where I'm going. Why wouldn't I want to share and ask somebody to take a look at Arbonne? Because when we look at those people and those leaders, we just like put them up on a pedestal. But the thing is, just normal people. They are just human beings like you and I. They've just been in the business for much longer. So if you're not in a place of judgment with them, how do you feel about other people in different network marketing companies? Is there a slight inkling of judgment when somebody joins a different network marketing company, or you see somebody else doing a different network marketing company or business? And if there is, like, don't beat yourself up about it. I'll be honest, there was a time where I did have a judgment about people who joined other network marketing companies. I thought, oh, what they're joining that for? It's rubbish, or almost embarrassed for them maybe. Now that's gone. But if that is you, really we have to start thinking about what our judgment is of ourselves and a judgment on Arbonne and actually really understanding the belief and really the professionalism of what this industry actually is. So have a think about that. And if that is you, you know, that's fine, recognise it, but know that if we're judging others, then we can't expect not to be judged ourselves. So if we have a complete faith and judgment in the network marketing industry, then we can walk out with absolute confidence. So a lot of you might know my story, but basically the reason why I said yes to Arbonne, and before I'd heard about Arbonne, I had a very, you know, great career. I'd left my dad's company, so I left a family business that was put aside. I wanted to go out on my own 2 feet to be successful for myself, and I went and found a career in buying, and I got to travel the world, and you know, on the surface it was all great, and for me I had this like feeling of success and all of that sort of stuff. And then I had a child, and it changed things. And it changed things not just because I wanted it to change things, but it changed things because basically control was taken out of my hands in the way that I wanted to be a mother and the way that I wanted to help work and earn money. There are little companies that are actually going to be really flexible and kind of say, do you know what, Jay, do you tell me what hours you want to work, where you want to work, do what you want to do. Let me know like what time you need to pick the kids up or go to school assemblies and stuff. And yeah, we'll still pay the same kind of money. Just if you need to reduce your hours or whatever, just let us know. Like that is not an option ever, like hardly ever. If it is, then I'd absolutely love that. And I was in a situation where basically was taking my son to nursery. So anyway, I was in this great career. I had to leave that buying career behind because they gave me no options. They gave me no options. I had to commute a lot to be able to reduce my hours, to be able to just be present with my son that I'd like waited a really long time to have, but I still needed to earn money. So on maternity leave, I had to go and find another job. Let me tell you, the amount of part-time jobs that are flexible around the hours I could get him into nursery, that were anywhere near close to what I was earning, were nigh on impossible. And I ended up, I don't know if many people know this, I ended up finding a job that sold bus advertising. And bus advertising was basically a sales job. So I had to go out, sell advertising on buses as much as I can to earn as much money as I can for me to, yeah, basically survive. Now, in that job, I found myself so unfulfilled. I was walking in and out of very, very unsafe environments with men I didn't know, like in areas that I didn't know, trying to sell bus advertising like a door-to-door salesman. And I remember dropping my son off to school and just crying because I genuinely was exchanging time with my son that I'd wanted to be a baby because I had to go and get a job because I had to earn money to pay bills. So in an industry, I was thinking, you know, what is it that I could do? And I even started doing some cleaning jobs on the side to earn extra money, cleaning. I even thought, do you know what, if I don't do bus advertising, could I go and do some interior design work? If I quit my job, I could do interior design. So how would I earn the kind of money that I wanted to do and still have the time with my son? Well, I could do another house and then someone else might want the house doing, but if I wanted to earn more money, I'd need to get more houses, which would mean more time, which would mean less time with my son. Maybe that won't work. Okay, I'll go into events. I love planning events for people. I could do hen do's, I could do stag do's. I love being organised, yeah, and I could earn a little bit of commission from that. And then if I wanted to earn, that'd be a one-off payment. And if I wanted to earn it again, like I'd need more of those events to get that full-time paycheck that I was used to. Oh, but that means then I'm working self-employed full-time for myself and I've got no time with my son. There was no real options in my head that I could look at. So if you could live out your perfect day, money wasn't an issue. Like you just didn't even have to worry about money. It was like you were secure. There was no panic about like you not having any money in the bank. You know, no more no's to your kids. That feeling of security, you know, not just now, but for the future. You knew you were like good to go and you could just do whatever you wanted with your days, like whatever it was that you wanted to do with your days. You knew that like you've got pensions, you know, and you've got long-term investments and your bank was full of savings. How would that look to you? Because sometimes it's not the case that you're not enjoying a job. Sometimes it's not the case that, I don't know, you know, you need more money. Sometimes it's just about security and living your day out exactly how you want your day to be, exactly how you want your week to be, just to be happy. I just wanted to wake up and feel really happy with Monday, with Tuesday, with whatever day it was going to be. So what would that look like? And if you carry on being a bit nervous about asking people about this business, or if you carry on and nothing really changes, or, you know, you don't really grow your knowledge about the DA or whatever it may be, to be able to ask more people about taking a look at this business, maybe in your job, nothing changes, and maybe in your job, like, when will you retire? Like, if nothing changes and you stay where you're at, when will you retire? When will you have that pensions pot? When will you have the savings? When will you just be able to go and do what you wanted to do with the day and just lift off and, you know, decide that you're not going into work today because you don't have to? Because if it's like, I'm not really sure that's ever going to happen, then sometimes it's about us just really believing that it's not just this business for us. But if you're having those thoughts and feelings, and you're having those worries, and you're having, you know, that hesitation, and actually I haven't got a flipping pension, and I haven't really thought about savings, and I am a bit worried about that, then so many people out there in the world today have the exact same feelings that you have, and actually Arbonne is a solution. It's probably, I don't know, like a minuscule solution in comparison to all the other jobs that are out there. There's nothing really, and like, I mean, obviously network marketing is amazing, but network marketing is the solution for people to be able to work part-time hours and earn like whatever income they want to earn, and that's security, and that's your pension part, and all of those things. So I'm going to play a video, and this, I watched this when I was starting in Arbonne, and it really hit home to me about, are you just settling every day, like, and how much our life is kind of passing by. So take a look at this vid, if I can get to it. Sorry, everybody, hold on. Shit, not that one. Oh, this one. Take it to the beginning.
These are roughly 28,835 jelly beans. I counted out 500 of them and used those to weigh the rest. In this pile, there's one jelly bean for each day that the average American will live. You might have more beans in your life, or maybe less, but on average, this is the time we have. Here's a single bean. It's your very first day. A special day, but kind of a rough day on everyone involved. Add 364 more and you have the first year of your life. Now, for a sense of scale, here are your first 15 years, 5,475 days, which brings us to the threshold of adulthood, and at that moment, this is the time that we have left. And this is, on average, what we will do with all that time. We will be asleep for a total of 8,477 days. If we're lucky, some of that time we'll be sleeping next to someone we love. We will be in the process of eating, drinking, or preparing food for 1,635 days. We'll be at work, hopefully doing something satisfying, for the equivalent of 3,202 of those days. 1,099 days will be spent commuting or traveling from one place to another, maybe a little bit more if you live in LA. On average, we will watch television in one form or another for a total of 2,676 days. Household activities, like chores and tending to our pets and shopping, will take another 1,576 days, and we will care for the needs and well-being of others, our friends and family, for 564 days. We'll spend 671 days bathing, grooming, and doing all other bathroom-related activities, and another 720 days will go to community activities, like religious and civic duties, charities, and taking classes. After we remove all those beans, this is what remains. This is the time that we have left. Time for laughing, swimming, making art, going on hikes, text messages, reading, checking Facebook, playing softball, maybe even teaching yourself how to play the guitar. So what are you going to do with this time? How much of it do you think you've already used up? If you only had half of it, what would you do differently? What about half of that? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love? What if you just had one more day? What are you going to do today?
So don't want that to be like morbid, but generally when you actually looked at that, and somebody showed me that a while ago, and I started in Arbonne, and I thought, oh my gosh, like, it's not just about me. There are so many other people out there that are genuinely like living this silent sense of desperation. And we've got something that genuinely people are living in that last box with the question mark every day, like laughing, joying, like enjoying things, because, and they've got more of them, because it's not the commute and it's not the work and it's not the watching the telly or whatever it may be. We've got something that gives us those days. And ultimately, it's not always about money, but money can give you choices and money can give you the time. And that, I just thought that's so powerful. So choose your hard. If you're a number 5 or you're number 7 or you're a number 9 or whatever you are about the business, asking someone to take a look at this business, like Kerry said last training, which was phenomenal. Thank you so much, Kerry. Like choosing your hard. Hard is like Rachel Fit having to, turn all of the clients away on a Monday morning because the government literally stopped her from doing those facial treatments like that after she'd arranged all of that work. Hard is Kerry, saying, like I said last week, and saying no to her kids or whatever help she's had to have. Hard was me walking into a hydroponics shop in the dirtiest part of Birmingham, sat there with a clip pad, scared that I was going to get mauled, trying to earn basically another company some money just so I could like be part-time work that was going to be flexible. That wasn't my choice. That was just like a situation that was put upon me to basically cope by. So when I started Arbonne, I will say I literally looked at this business like the saviour, like the answer to all of my problems. I was going out talking to people like, why wouldn't somebody want to take a look at this when you can earn this kind of money and work part-time hours? Like, just that part is like, this makes sense. Why would nobody want to work less hours, earn more money, less hours, earn more money? That makes sense, like, to me. So I was going out just wanting to share that with people. I could found something that people don't even know about. And actually, I started to listen to 2 videos, and I'm gonna write these down now, because I would like, after this audio, after this training, tonight after the training later, or tomorrow morning, I want you to go and find them on YouTube. They're on YouTube, and I want you to watch them, because it doesn't hurt for us to have a recap. And many of you may have listened to them before. And the first one, which makes total sense about the industry you're in, not Arbonne, the industry you're in, is Robert Kiyosaki, Business of the 21st Century, and Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. Like, I believed in my whole heart that this was going to change me. It was going to change my situation. I couldn't understand, like I say, why people weren't going to earn that. And I have to say, guys, from 4 years ago to now, the economic climate has changed before my eyes in 4 years. The way people are doing business now is different. Just in the last 4 months, the way people are doing business now is different. And in the last 4 months, what's happened to Arbonne? 88 more area managers in 1 month. 500 more district managers in 1 month. That's never happened in Arbonne before, because the way that people are looking at doing business and buying and utilising things is different. And now we have social media. More and more people are more aware of the life they could be living, and actually maybe having a JOB, which is just over broke. Fiona said that today. I love that. Just over broke. Like, people aren't satisfied. They're almost like a silent air of like, is this it? And when's retirement? When do I start enjoying that last question mark full of jelly beans? So I was going to play another video, but it's not. Basically, if anyone saw Loose Women the other day, the CEO of Loose Women came on, and she basically said, like, their network marketing industry for Ann Summers, they literally over the pandemic, in the last 4 months, 100,000 more women have joined as consultants for that business, because they are actively pursuing to bridge a gap for job loss, for earning that supplementary income into the household. Whether you don't need any extra income right now, it's not about you. Maybe, if you lost your job, you're all good to go. But other people don't know about this. Other people don't know what there is. And other people are like me's, like maybe you's, like maybe whatever it is you're feeling, are out there not even having a clue that Arbonne is the best company, and they're going to hear about network marketing or another way from somebody else, because everybody now is starting to look for a new way of working, or looking for more time to be able to spend. So, hang on. Yeah. So, and people are desperate for more. Sorry, I've written notes. But so the guesses are, they are desperate. And do you know what? You genuinely, in that stadium of 11,000 people, of 321,600 consultants, every single, like 8, 9, 10 people on this call, however many are on this call, you've all got the golden lottery ticket. You've all got like what you're searching for, what that favorite day is, what that, dream day, if money was no issue, if you literally didn't have to worry about money or financial security and your pension, and you were good to go until the day's end, and you can enjoy every day with your kids, with your grandkids, whatever it is, you've got that ticket in your hand. All you've got to do is start the journey to the post office and go and cash it in. You just got to take the first step. So choosing your hard is those things. It's not asking somebody to look at Arbonne, whether that's the products or the business. The power of this business is so legitimate. Like, it is, listen to that business of the 21st century. Like, I want you to believe in it. I want you to go out and ask people to take a look at this business, because like, why the freaking hell not? Would they not want to look at Arbonne? Because what else is there? Like, what else is there if they want change, like what they may want? And we don't know what they want until we ask them to take a look. They might not be the people that you think need Arbonne, but they may just be the ones that do need it the most. If Tony hadn't have asked me to take a look at the business, I genuinely, not just I wouldn't be destitute, wouldn't be homeless, but my mental health and my state of well-being and the feeling like I had no presence in my life because I just felt so unfulfilled. Like, people are living that day to day, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy I'm in Arbonne, and that's what we have to offer people. Our job is to ask them to take a look. And that's all we've got to be conscious of. Kerry said this to me today and I loved it. She goes, that's all she focuses on. She just focuses on the job being that she gets that Arbonne in front of them, whether she can just talk to them about the products for a second, or whether, they would just be open to taking a look at the business, even if it's not for them, but they might know somebody that needs this. They might know somebody that needs this. Our job is not to make them say yes. Our job is to share the business, share the products, just talk to them about it. It's not for them to say yes to us. So what I want you to do on your piece of paper, and this is going to be something to help you guys, if you right now not being consistent, if you're not at least asking one person a day for 5 days of the week to take a look at Arbonne in any which way, you're not doing an ask, as I would call it, at least one, then this is where I want you to go to start to. If you're looking at your phone and you're like, right, I'm doing my tracker, social media, scroll, hours gone, I didn't really do anything. Like, we've all been there. I'm there more often than not, I promise you. It never really gets any easier. And this is something I've been doing. I want you to go to your client group. Everyone should have a client group on Facebook, and I want you to go and write a list. I want you to go through all the names, and I want you to write a list on the piece of paper of all of the names. And across the top, you're going to have name, you're going to have product, ? You're going to have business, ? You're going to have party, ? All of those people in the client group have had some sort of exposure at some point to do with Arbonne, because they're in your client group, they're seeing your posts, they're either using the products or they know that you do Arbonne. So they're in there for a reason. They already know and like the products, most of them. And if they're not using any products but they're in there, have we asked them to try something new? Have we asked them to try a sample? Have we asked them to take a look at what this business is? Even if it's not for them, they might know somebody this business could help. I literally started a list. I've got 300 clients in my client group, some of which I've added in from ex-consultants that have left, and all of that sort of stuff. So they've never really bought on me, never comment in there at all. And I've worked my way through from A to Z, and I've gone through and asked, voice noted individually, not every single one, I'm halfway through, basically sending a private voice note to say, hi, you're in my client group, I hope you're enjoying it. My job role, I'm really passionate about sharing. I'm on a mission basically to share what Arbonne is, the business opportunity. I don't know if you've ever thought about it for you, or whether you've ever thought about it. And even if not, I still would really love to share this with you. My business is ran just through word of mouth referrals and recommendations and things like that. And once you've heard the information from me, you might know somebody this business really could help, just like it did me 4 years ago. If I sent you a short video, or if I could get you on a call, would you be open to taking a look? And as a thank you in return, I can send you a couple of free fish sticks, or I can enter you into a raffle for a free gift, or whatever it is that you want to do, or even just say as a thank you, if there's anything I can do for your business or anything in return, please let me know. I'd really appreciate your help. Our job is just to ask. There's so many people in that client group that have come back to me that I nearly didn't send that message and drop the message to, because I just assumed that they wouldn't need it. And they were the ones that said, yeah, I want to take a look at this, because they're unfulfilled. They are in amazing jobs, but they're busy and they're working full time, and they may not be with COVID, they may not be treated properly, or they might be worried about the job security, whatever that is. So it's our job just to share it. Now, if you've already spoken to somebody about the business or they're in your client group, you need to ask them about the products. Do every single person in your client group, have they had a message from you individually saying, hey, Susie, like, you know, I know you're in my client group, you might have already seen my post, I'm just being really due diligent. Did you know there's 50% off this month normally, or 40% off this month, whatever you're doing? You know, I'm trying to just make sure people can get the best discounts. These products are amazing. Just let me know if there's anything you need, or if you're looking for anything, just while I've got this discount to unlock, I just want to make sure you don't miss out on anything. Have you done a messenger party and people have been in your messenger party but not commented once? Every single one of those people, Kerry said, it's the fortune is in the follow-up. They might have been out on a night out, didn't even know they'd got all these messages, not looked through, and completely missed it, and wouldn't have gone back to look. And that's happened to me. I've been invited to a jewellery party, one like this, and I went back through and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad she followed up with me, because if she hadn't done, I wouldn't have gone back and looked. Go back and ask them, I know you're in a party, I know you may have been busy, it's absolutely fine if not, but just wanted to double check you didn't need anything. There's still a few items left at this discount. Once you've got everyone on your list, you want to go through and make sure the people are highlighted, like, have they heard about the business, or do they not want to hear about the reviews? Fine, you've asked the question, like, have they tried about the products, or would they host a party for you? Like, these are all exposures for people that already are aware about Arbonne and love it anyway. And then look at your immediate network and really look at this. Like, when I started the business, and many of you like might be new, who would you love to work with? Not who do you think will join you, not who do you think's skint, not who do you think's like, you know, full time and they could do with more hours. Like, who would you love to work with, or who do you think would be great? And go and tell them. So look, I've joined Arbonne, or I'm in Arbonne. I am buzzing for these next few months. You know I've been in it for a while, or you know I'm brand new. I'm really excited, and I'd really love to talk to you about it. I think you'd be great. Would you just be open to taking a look? Like, have conviction in what this is, and go and you know, create that belief in Arbonne. I'm not going to talk about all the different reach out methods. There's different ways, but I guarantee probably we've not gone through our client groups to start with, and this is a starting point for you. And from that, they may just refer you to somebody else that will join the business, and it's a good starting point. I'm going to open it up for the next, like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and just unmute yourself, like, one at a time, and just go through and say one thing that's worked really well for you this week. Just so we can, anything, like one good thing, positive, that's worked really well for you that you've been doing this week. Shall I start? Yeah.
So for me, I was really honest. The messenger parties weren't working for me. Like, people weren't commenting, but I did them anyway, and I carried on. And then I literally followed up with every single person on my page. So I had 92 voice notes to do, and the response was just incredible. So, and I think if I just left it, because the first one I did, I'll be honest, I was like, oh, well, it works for Jade, it doesn't work for me. And then I thought, but what can I do next? And that's when I just sent the voice notes, and they worked brilliantly.
Yeah.
It worked for me as well. Obviously not everyone orders, but you get such a higher percentage of people that actually then order from you. Even if it's like a mascara.
Yeah.
It's that personal shopping experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the voice note was better than just a message, because it's like you're actually thinking of them, and you've had to make a voice note for them with their name in it. So it's not like a copy and paste.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, definitely personalised voice notes work well.
Yeah.
So I want to unmute and say anything that's worked really well for them that they'd like to share. So obviously, you know, making sure that we are, like, I genuinely know there's people that still are in my client group, and I've been banging on about the discount. They're like, oh, I didn't even know. Is that on offer then as well? You know, because I've gone back to them. Just don't, like, this is the month to nail the block. Has anyone else done anything?
I was messaging a lady that I've known for years, and like, I've got back in contact with her over lockdown, and she's Polish, and I've been trying really hard this week. I was like, right, I know someone in New Zealand, and there's 2 people in Australia, and they're just like, no, don't want to know, kind of thing. And then I text this woman, it was about a group party that I did yesterday, and she was like, Kate, I've looked at your stuff, I've seen your videos, not for me, I'm not interested, blah blah. And I thought, hang on a minute, she's Polish. So I texted her and I said, look, thank you for your reply. I was just wondering, you know, I want to build my business. I was just wondering if you post a party. I was like, yeah, of course I will. And I nearly didn't, because she'd said, like, you know, I'm not interested, don't stop messaging me, kind of thing. But I was like, honestly, I sat there and I was like, do I send it? Do I not? But obviously, I've got a Polish party to host. So yeah.
Amazing. Well done. That's amazing. Yeah, and that just goes to show, doesn't it? Like, we don't just because they say no to one thing doesn't mean it's a no to everything. Like, we don't know what's going on in their life, and actually, they're probably more than happy to do something extra or help us in a different way.
Well, that's it. She was like, I don't use products, so I'm really not interested. And I did literally think, because really that's like the first time that I've had someone reply to me. Normally they either just don't reply or they, so yeah, I was proper full of fear and thought, do I just push it one more time kind of thing? And yeah, hopefully I'm going to get some business in Poland.
Amazing. Yes, you will. Kerry, you've got another one.
So I set up a separate group just for the sale, but I made it so that everyone asked to be in it rather than me just inviting them in it. And I put it all over Instagram, and I had, I think it was 4 or 5 friends that are not in my business page asked to be in it. So that was great. And then I did a live in there saying for every time someone adds a friend, and I made a joke of it. I was like, if you know someone that washes the hair, showers, brushes her teeth, like eats food, like literally made a joke of it and said, then add them to the group and I'll add you into a raffle to win a free primer. And the primer I'd got through Host Rewards, so I hadn't paid for it anyway. And I put it as an announcement at the top of the page so that it was always there. Whenever they went on the page, that live was there. And one of my friends added 17 new people to the group. So I've now got 17 new connections for giving away a product that was free anyway. I mean, she's won the primer. But 17 new connections now that I didn't know and never met them before. And I individually voice noted every single one of them as well and added them as a friend on Facebook.
That's amazing. So did you advertise that on your personal page or in your client group?
No. So I did it on my client group and my personal page, but I advertised the free product in the special group that I did. I did 20 products for less than £20. And then, but it was more like they had asked to be in there.
Amazing. Okay, has anyone else got anything quick? We've got 1 minute.
Yeah, Emma's done it as well.
Emma's done that. Such
After
a
seeing Harry,
all doing that. That is amazing.
Because it's a free product anyway, and everyone wants a free primer.
Yeah.
She was all over it. She's like, right, how many can I add? So, yeah.
Amazing. Right, well, I'm going to cut it short now on to the next training. Go out and just literally have belief in this business and decide how many you're actually going to do a day and commit to it. Like, it's not a big deal. You've got something magical to offer somebody, and I'll see you all later. Thank you, everybody.